right, so are we good to go? Are we on?
Yeah, ready to go.
Are we live? Can we get the signal? Is Anthony giving us a signal?
Yes,
Can you see
awesome.
that? All right,
Hey, guys.
we are ready to rock. Hey, welcome to the Practice Acceleration Podcast. We're up to episode number 93. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
Absolute blast. In 7 episodes' time, we'll be celebrating the ton. So if you are listening to this in your car, thank you for listening. In the future, if you want to check us out live and watch us on the live stream, you can head on over to Facebook. And if you are actually watching us on Facebook Live right now, thank you.
Yeah.
And type in some comments and questions as we go. Hit like, hit share, and also hello to our IGTV viewers.
Guys.
Delighted that you guys are here with us. And today's episode number 93, and we are talking about 5 ways to jumpstart your quarter. And it's really relevant because we've just wrapped up the quarter here in Australia, Sarah.
Yes, last Friday we had our end of quarter meeting, which was a whole heap of fun. We went off site, we went cafe hopping, didn't we, Tristan?
You know
we
what?
get all of the good coffee around in Kent Town. It was heaps of fun. We also did a lot of planning too. It's not like we were just hanging out drinking coffee all day.
There was a lot of planning and a lot of coffee, especially from me.
Yeah, so every quarter we set our goals. We reset, we look back, we go look forward, and we reset, ready to crush it again every single quarter. And that's how we're really able to achieve such massive growth. When we looked at some of the numbers, you want to share some of those?
I've got some of the numbers out, and I don't say these to impress you, but rather to impress upon you that growth comes from really planning behind all the activities that you need to actually get that growth. So a couple of things that I believe that we do really well and on top of this is we really are passionate about our marketing, we're passionate about our systems, we're passionate about team development. So we got a really tight process. And then add on top of that, the actual planning structure itself, which we're going to share. So I'll give you some numbers. So if we look at our profitability right now and also our revenue for the end of the financial year, which we've just finished. So we've grown 300% in 3 years. And we were already a 7-figure company back 3 years ago. We've grown 180% in the last 2 years. And we've grown a further 40% on top of that in the last 12 months alone. So it's just like, whoom, exponential growth. And like I said, I'm not saying to impress you, but to impress upon you, this strategy, when layered across great marketing and great processes, is just so incredibly powerful. So I'm really delighted to share this with you guys.
Yeah, so what I would love to know, if you guys are on the live right now, I can see a bunch of people are joining us. I want to know, have you already set your plan for the next quarter? Just type in plan, and I want to know if you have, and type in no if you haven't, because this is going to be really valuable for you as well. If you have set your plan, then you can use it for the next 90 days, because some of these
100%.
hacks are just killer. They're so easy to make sure that you can plan all year round.
100%. So I just want to share a quick story before we really jump into this. So I was just chatting with another consultant beforehand, and 3 years ago, our company and his company were very even.
Yep.
In fact, we met him 2 years before that, and our growth trajectory was like he was ahead of us, we were ahead of him, and we were kind of leveled out with each other 3 years ago. And since then, he's actually stayed at that same point.
Yep, stagnant.
Yeah, exactly at that same point. And his strategies he's using are basically the same as us because he's copying all of our stuff. But in any event, they haven't got this planning down pat, and it's without the right plan, the right execution strategy, you can have all the best tactics in the world, that you're just not going to get that level of growth. So really wanted to point out to you how important this really is.
It really is so important to be working on the right thing at the right time, with so many different things going on in the world. I want to do this strategy, I want to do that strategy. You really need to hone in on what is actually going to give you the growth that you need. And we've really nailed that, and we've kind of turned it into 5 steps for you guys today. Before we get into it though, I want to go through a couple of little hacks that we go through before we do go into this planning session. We diarize it. We've diarised our whole year. At the end of every quarter, we go ahead, all right, now we're going to plan. But before then, we also get a whole heap of information before we go into this meeting.
We do.
We don't just go into this. We don't just go into this meeting, Tristan, and just go, all right, what are we going to do for our plan? We have a whole heap of research, whole heap of quarterly stats that we get together to make sure that when we go into this meeting, we're ready to roll and we know what we're looking at.
I remember last Monday when you had that meeting with the team, the stats collation started for every single aspect of our company.
Yeah.
And that ran for virtually a week. Well, from Monday to Friday, we're collecting all those statistics. so that we had like the real data in front of us to make informed decisions.
Exactly right. And also you and I, we complete a bunch of self-assessments before we go into
right.
it of every area in the business. So we make sure we're super planned. So when we go in there, we've got that whole day mapped out. We go off site, and the reason why we go off site, we don't want to do it in the office because we get distracted. We hear people on the phone and we're like, oh, what's that person doing? What's Anthony up to? I want to chat to Anthony. We want to get off site, make sure that we're just giving focus to the business.
Exactly. And by the way, talking about Anthony, he gave us a strict KPI measure before this, so we must get a number of likes. How many likes
He
was
wants
it?
50 likes.
50 likes, 50 cent, 50 likes. Click like, let's get it up to 50, and that way we'll show Anthony that we're actually following through in our promise to him.
Yeah, so the other hack that we do is, like I said, we go off-site. We like to go to a cafe. You can do it wherever you want. Make sure you're off-site so you're not distracted by your team coming in or just thinking about the business, like the day-to-day running. You really want to get clear on what's like your vision and where do you want to go in the next 90 days as well.
Yeah, it's about state change. Like when you're in the business, you're actually caught up in business mode. I mean, we're in business mode at the cafe too, but in the business, we're caught up in the delivery of what's happening around us. You actually can't get super clear in your mind. So at a cafe, you're like, great, let's step outside of our business and let's look inside of our business. Like, let's just, boom, step away and look at ourselves from above, from 30,000 feet, then really come down lower and really nail it down. So that's why it's so powerful to step outside of your business.
Yeah, and this works really well when we go away to conferences as well,
Sure does.
Tristan. We get away and we just start thinking about the business in a different way.
Exactly.
And a different light, and it just really helps. So maybe if you want to go away somewhere as well, make sure you can get really clear on your business as well.
That's a
and
great
the
tip.
other thing, I love this one. Do it with someone else in your business. Make sure you've got that meeting with someone else that you trust. So if it's just you, it's really hard to really like get deep into it. Some other people have other insights. You can bounce ideas off each other. That's why you and I do it together,
That's right.
Tristan. You can have like a manager in your business depending on who it is. Make sure you do it with someone else.
Yeah, it's not really helpful if you're doing it by yourself because
No.
you're actually not getting any real feedback from someone else and how you perform it. So one of the biggest problems that we see, and one of the reasons why it's so important for all of you guys watching and why it's helped us so much, is when we speak, like to date, we've helped over 2,000 healthcare companies worldwide over the last almost 15 years of working as consultants in healthcare. And right now we have 400 clients inside our top level coaching program with the biggest company in the world in this space. And once again, I just say that because I want to share some experiences with you across the board. What we do notice when people meet us, we've got these goals like, hey, I want to achieve this.
Yeah.
And so the desire part isn't a problem. Like, they know what they want. They know the actual goal itself, but they don't have a plan to actually hit that goal.
Yeah.
And without a plan to hit that goal, and without structuring it in the way that we teach everyone how to do it, they're simply not going to take enough action. So the way we've designed this process is, obviously you set your goals and then you create the plan that you pressure test. And when I execute that plan, I will 100% with absolute certainty hit those goals, and business growth will just freaking boom, explode. So that's how our clients, you see our client results and our client wins. And guys, thank you so much for being on the line and watching us. A big hello to our clients. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
That's how you guys get such crazy growth. And people from the outside in, we just had a message before from a fellow in Ontario, and he's like, Tristan, I've been following your progress, and which I really appreciate. And I've been looking at your client results. How is this possible? And if it's so possible, how come everyone out there isn't doing it? I'm like, well, because we happen to know a couple of secrets of which you're about to learn one right now. But the real secret is having the right strategy, the right plan, and then executing it without execution methods. So we're just going to go deep into that right now. So let's kick it off, Sarah.
All right, let's get into the 5 steps. We've bottled them up into 5 steps that you can really implement into your business, the quarterly planning system. So if you guys are watching us on the live, then just type in hell yes if you want to know these 5 secrets that we shared with you guys. So just type in hell yes, and then we'll get into it.
Give us a like. Let's get us up to 50.
Anthony wants 50 likes. So do you want to take away the first one, Tristan?
Please. So I'm going to start talking about by reflecting. So the first thing, after we've done all this heavy research, the first thing that Sarah and I actually do, and by the way, we do this the day before. So we actually do this piece and then we share it with each other once we catch up. Okay?
Not together, we do them separately. So I do my reflection, you do yours, because that's why it could be totally different.
And we can heavily influence each other. If she's like, I like this, I'm, maybe I like that too. So it's really important that we reflect separately. So what we go through in personal reflections is we look at, well, what went what are our wins for the quarter? What went well? What didn't go well? The next question I ask myself is, what areas actually felt out of whack? If something doesn't feel right, then we've got to sort that out. And then the next question we ask, of course, is, did we hit our goals? And that's very much a black or white, like yes or no.
Yeah.
Like yes or no. And then we look at our projects, because our projects underpin the success of us hitting our goals or not. And it's, did we actually complete our projects? Yes or no. Once again, black or white. Did we hit our goals? Yes or no. Did we complete our projects? Yes or no. So, and did anything feel out of whack? So the reason we go through that process is, if we didn't hit our goals, like, hang on, did we actually complete our projects?
Most of the time I see our clients, they come to the sessions, they come on our online sessions, and they say, oh, I didn't hit my goals. And then we work backwards and we realize that, hey, I didn't finish the projects that I mapped out.
So it's a no-brainer, right?
It's a no-brainer.
So I'd start thinking is like, if we did complete our projects, if we didn't hit our goal, then I'm like, hang on.
Were they the right projects?
Yeah, were they the right projects, okay? And then if we find out, they were the right projects, the next thing we look at is, did anything feel out of whack? So it could be, finish the projects, they're the right projects, felt out of whack, so we're the wrong person on the team. So that's how we start breaking it down. So the first part is our reflection piece. So what I want to do right now, we love celebrating our wins. What went well is the first thing we always ask. I'd love to know, type in beneath here, what is one thing that you're really proud of achieving in the last quarter, in the last 90 days, in the last 12 weeks of business? What is just one thing? Just type that in, just one thing. Like, we just had our biggest quarter in business history. But what I'm most proud of is we've done that in the face of so much adversity. We've had so many challenges which we've just like punched through, and I'm just so proud of how our team have just knocked those challenges for six. So I'm just really proud of that. That's the win I'm proud of.
So exciting. I'm really proud because we've been working really, really hard on your book, Tristan. So I'm really proud of that as well. Like that we're going to have that coming out soon, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it only almost ruined my life. But when that was done, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. But at the time, I'm like...
You've already forgotten about it because that wasn't your number one win.
I remember trying to convince you one of my chapters was good so I didn't have to rewrite it. And you were like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's really good. Trying to convince you it was really good.
I was like, nah.
Yeah, 5,000 words later, I had to rewrite the damn thing.
Yes, but it's amazing. So we're really excited about that. I'm really proud of that, and I can't wait to release it to all of you guys as well. So type in the comments, what's the one thing that you're most proud of this last 90 days?
Yeah, type them in. All right. What's the next one?
Number two, we deep dive. So we deep dive into every single area of the business.
Yes.
So ask yourself these questions. Did you hit your goal in these areas? So it's either yes
in each individual
or
area.
No. So I'm going to go through a bunch of areas that we look at, and you can go through all of these areas. The first one is marketing.
Yeah.
Every single quarter, we plan how many leads do we need to get to really hit our revenue goal.
Yeah.
And we'll teach you how we do that in a minute as well. So did we get the amount of leads that we needed to hit our marketing goals? Were we marketing on all of the right platforms that we wanted to? Was our message correct? All of these things, we dive deep into that. And that's just in marketing. Then we look at management, we look at leadership, even our individual focus.
Yeah, we grade our focus.
We grade our focus. We grade our team. Also patient delivery.
Yeah, so for us it's client delivery, but for you guys it's like grading your patient delivery, and I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's sales. Let's not hide behind it. Like I saw something the other day, one of our competitors who was hacking one of our ads, which is really funny. But it was like how to sell without selling. I'm like, well, why don't you say how to continue to be pathetic? Like, it's like, if it's called sales, learn how to sell properly and confidently. Like, I love sales because I genuinely believe in what we're doing, but most people think sales is kind of pushy and salesy. So then instead they try to hide behind the sale. No, it's a freaking sale. Learn how to do it properly. So if you want to grow your company, here's what you need to know. How much money do you make per patient? Period. That is it. And then how do we get more of those patients? So we actually need to grade your team on, are your team selling properly? Because it's a sale. Yep. It's an ethical sale, it's an appropriate sale, but are they actually selling? Yes or no? Because if they're not hitting your sales goals there, no amount of marketing is coming to save you because you've got an unscalable, chaotic mess just going to freaking destroy your life. So that's the thing we look at. Sales, like, are your team actually selling at the right volume?
Yeah, what are they recommending? What's actually getting booked in?
Yeah.
How much are you making per patient?
Exactly.
You guys watching this right now, if that's the one thing you take away, spend half of your day working on that in your review. and working on how you're going to fix it, then your business will just explode.
Exactly correct. And then we grade our operations team as well, and our support team and client delivery team in terms of client success team and creating better experiences. So we grade literally everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. So that's a real deep dive that we take there.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on that area as well.
That's
And
most time.
Yeah, what went well in these areas, what didn't go well, what should we do differently? And that's kind of how we come up with our projects from that, because we realize, if I'm in my patient delivery section, for example, wow, this person's recommending really well, this person isn't, it's really inconsistent. Well, that's what we need to fix. That's really the biggest thing that we need to fix.
Yeah, and we talk about that in a lot of our podcast episodes, actually. That kind of underpins your entire business. It always comes back to that every 90-day review. Like, are we actually charging enough per client?
Yeah.
You know, are you actually charging enough per patient? Because if one person's not, the other one is, marketing will not save you. It's just going to increase the level of complexity within your company. So if you type in underneath here, what area do you most need to work on in your business in the next 90 days? And it might be marketing, but it's probably not.
Time.
It's going to be rebooking and actually the actual amount of money you make per patient, to be honest.
And if you're one of our clients and you're following this right now, you've probably heard it 1,000 times from myself on our Talk to the Experts session. Everyone will submit their question. They come along and they're like, I want to do this amazing Facebook funnel. And I go, that's really great and I would love for you to do that, but let's just take a look at your patient delivery. Do you know exactly how much you make for every single patient that comes in?
Once they're rebooked, right?
Once they're rebooked, as per your recommended signature systems to give the best possible outcomes. So if that's correct, then I look at, okay, well, let's look at your team. Are you running your meetings? Are you doing all of these things? Marketing is the last thing I look at with everyone. You guys will know because you've been on my session.
Marketing is the accelerant that we pour on the top. And if there's an unstable base and we accelerate that, all that happens is you just get worse and worse, right? Like, it is not going to be the Band-Aid you think it is.
So yeah, guys, type in what area do you need to work on in your business in the next 90 days. And I hope that really helped you a little bit. It most likely will be patient delivery and your sales area.
Exactly correct. Perfect. So the next thing we go through is lessons. Like, you need to learn from your lessons. We need to learn from our lessons. Yeah. And I've got a rule. Everyone on our team can only learn the same lesson, the one lesson. They can only they can only learn it once. Like, we don't want to learn the same lesson twice, because that's just like, we're flying in the face of information that's telling us that we're off track. So every quarter we say, what do we actually learn? What do we actually learn? What were our weak points? But also, I love these lessons too. What are some wins that we had that we didn't expect?
Yeah.
And then what can we do with that information? So we had this really amazing win in the first quarter this year. We totally did not expect it. In fact, I was like, this is a weak point. I need to kill this. But then we look in the same sentence, we're like, but what are some lessons we learned from that? And what's an unexpected win we had from that experience? And we tapped into it. And since then, we've made $407,000 profit from that one thing alone. That one thing.
Yeah.
And if we hadn't asked ourselves, what's an unexpected win that we've had, and then how can we scale that and then verticalize it, we wouldn't have had that $407,000 extra profit as a company, which we didn't expect, which we totally love. We want to have that money because now we can do some really cool stuff with it. Like
our office reno.
The office reno, the architect's coming out this afternoon.
Yeah,
which is really cool. By the way, Alan, if you're watching this, you do not have $407,000 for the reno. We're going to give you a packet of Skittles and some free coffees. So then we ask yourself, like, what do you need to improve on in the next quarter to avoid learning the same lesson over and over again? And we just learned another one 2 weeks ago.
We're always learning lessons.
We learned another one 2 weeks ago. And we know that this one that we didn't act on quick enough, this one cost us $180,000 over the last 12 months by not acting on this. So we are learning as we go all the time. We probably took, 3 weeks too long to learn on that. But now we've learned from our mistakes. We're like, great, when this goes off, then we take that action. So what lessons did you learn over the last quarter?
Yeah, type in lessons if you've learned some lessons over the last quarter.
Yeah.
And to be honest...
What was the lesson you learned?
Maybe what was the lesson? Type that in. I'd love to know that as well. We're always learning lessons every single day. But like I said,
and you never stop learning them.
You're never going to stop learning lessons, especially if you're a business owner. You're always going to be learning, coming up against challenges, but it's really how you face those challenges and turn it into like a bigger win and an opportunity in the future.
So I love when we chat with our mate Jeff Fleming, he calls them learning opportunities. So it's really funny. And I'm like, hey Jeff, how's it going? He goes, oh, amazing. I had a $500,000 learning opportunity today.
Never learned
which
that
basically
again.
means he lost 500 G's. But it's like he calls them learning opportunities, and he's so positive in the way that he looks at it. It's like it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. So that's the way we look at it as well.
Definitely. All right, let's get into number 4.
Yeah,
Point number
let's
4
do it.
is, now that we've kind of learned all of our lessons, we've reflected, we've reviewed the business, we've gone deep. Now we're looking at, all right, let's set our new goals.
Yes.
Let's set our new goals for the next 90.
We know where we're at. Where do we want to go?
Where do we actually want to go? So we look at, the first thing we look at, what is the revenue goal that we want to achieve
in 90 days time,
in the next 90 days. So we really break ours down into 3 different areas, and I love doing this, Tristan. So most
Me
people
too.
would only really just pick one revenue goal. Like
Yep.
one goal, this is the goal I want to achieve. What we do is we pick 3. We go, let's pick a good goal.
Yes.
It's a goal that we'd be pretty happy with if we hit that.
If we hit that, we'd be happy.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal. Most people choose that
Just
as
the
their
good.
goal. Like they'll choose that and go, like they call it like a realistic goal, but if they got it, they'd be happy,
Yeah.
right? So that's our good goal.
And then we have our better goal. So we're like, if we hit that, this is really, really good. And I think last quarter we went between our good and our better. We nearly hit our better goal.
Yeah,
so that was
correct.
cool. Yeah, and then we have our best goal where you think, I would never be able to achieve that.
Yeah, like-
and it's like out of this world if I do achieve
Yes.
it. And we have hit those before as well. And God,
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and we're like,
When
how
you
did that
hit
even happen? We didn't believe, like the level of belief you get within yourself when you smash those best goals is just off the charts. But the best goal is going to be wildly challenging, like
Yeah.
something you don't even believe is possible, but you choose that. But you definitely want to have your good goal, your better goal, and your best goal.
Yeah, I remember a couple of weeks out of the end of the quarter, I
Yeah.
said to the team, guys, we've hit our good goal. And then Anthony goes, I want to smash our better goal.
Yeah.
How much do we need to do that? So, we've got the bell going here. Someone's going to answer the door.
Can someone handle that? It's what you want. Just
Could
when
be
you're
the
alive,
architect.
someone's going to come through. If they're bringing free muffins and
Coffee.
coffee, bring them in. If they're bringing a check, bring them in. If it's a bill, get them out of here. Shut
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah, so
Tell them we've moved to Antarctica.
So I was saying in the last 2 weeks, we said, guys, we've smashed our good goal and we could probably hit our better goal. No, we're going to smash our better goal.
Yeah.
And the motivation from the team, because we had a better goal, like we just went like that in the last 2 weeks of the
Yeah,
quarter.
we smashed our revenue target there through past our better goal.
Yeah.
And then we were between good and better on another one of the sales targets
Yeah.
as well. But it was the most amazing turnaround, which was really, really cool.
So what other goals do you want to talk about, Tristan, that everyone should be looking
So
at?
the thing is, like, as a
That's just
healthcare professional, so we talk about revenue goals, and behind each of these revenue goals, we know this is how many leads we need to have, and when we sell each lead at this amount, and we need this many leads to hit that goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order for you guys to do this, you need to understand, like Sarah said before, you actually need to have a goal and say, well, how much money will you make per patient? Period. Because you need to know, well, if each patient brings you this amount of money, how many of those patients do you need over the next quarter to hit that goal? So you must have a very strict process for recommending your rebooking
Yeah.
and your sales process. That is what underpins everything, like absolutely everything. If you don't have a goal for this is the amount of money we must make per patient and have a system to ensure that you do that. And of course, I don't even need to say this, like obviously it's ethically, you couldn't sell it otherwise, but you must have a goal for how much money you're gonna make per patient. Period. So once you know that and you get a sales process that you track twice a day, every single freaking day, then you need to have a marketing goal behind that. Because then we
Yeah.
go, great, so how many leads we need.
How many leads,
When
what
we
channels.
Exactly, leads, channels. So
Yeah.
that's just getting the revenue up. But beyond that, we got one really special one as well.
Yeah, behavioural goals.
Yeah.
And that's for every single person on your team. For you, me, Tristan, we all
Yeah.
set our own behavioural goals because we need to know we're all going to be on fire if we're actually going to achieve all of these goals.
Exactly, like we've got certain behavioural standards. Like I vehemently oppose the toxic high performer in a team.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be called toxic high performers. They should just be called toxic. Yeah, because they might be individually getting good results, but they destroy the rest of your team. So in overall, they decrease team performance. So it's really important to actually understand everyone's upholding your values. We moved someone on during the quarter who was really low energy, and you think, hang on, they've kind of gone about their own business by themselves. It's low energy, but when they leave, bang, this surge of momentum.
Yeah.
So it's really important that every single quarter you've got absolutely crystal clear behavioral goals and just act on them so fast. Get
Yeah.
people out if they're not according to your behavioral goals.
Yeah, we always review team as well. Do we have the right people
Yeah.
in the right seats in the team?
Do we have the right people in order to get to where we want to be in 90 days' time?
Exactly right. Or do we need to hire any more people for the growth that we want to achieve? We're
Exactly.
always ahead of the curve thinking, what do we need to really hit those goals?
100%. And the final thing is number 5, make it real. We've gone through and done so much assessing now. We know exactly where we want to go. We know the lay of the land now, and we know what we want to do and how we need to get there. We're going to make it real.
Yeah.
So making it real is like, how do we this is real, like right now, like, otherwise it's just a concept. How do
Yeah.
so we actually diarize the plan. We allocate people to specific projects.
Yeah.
We have scorecards. We set up our meeting structure around that. We've got a beyond tight meeting rhythm and leadership process around this. Accountabilities, timelines, consequence bundles if people actually, bless you, consequence bundles if people are actually off track. How do we make this freaking real? How do we make this
Yeah.
so tight that it's like an SAS operation? That's how tight it must be. So type in real if you want to work or if you need to
Yeah.
work on making your goals real, because I believe, are we going to provide a resource? Or is that in a different episode?
We can provide a resource.
So no, I don't think we are providing a resource. I'm a little bit off track. We've got something
You're
else
too
coming
excited.
up. I am too excited about this. We've got something else coming up. So type in real, and then we got something coming up for you. So keep paying attention. I'll show you
Yeah.
what it is in just a moment.
And to touch on that, this is the most important part. You could spend the whole day
Yeah.
planning, doing all these things, having these amazing goals, but a goal without a plan is just hopeology. You're
Correct.
never going to actually achieve your goals.
Just clown facing about.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people making. I've got this vision, I've got these goals, yeah, but how are you actually going to make it happen?
I'm thinking big. I'm like, great. Well, when you're thinking big, our clients are winning big.
Yeah, exactly. So type in real if you really need to work on this area in your business as well into the comments.
Yes. So
And-
let's do a summary, shall we?
Yeah, let's do a summary. So that's the 5-step quarterly planning system we use every single 90 days, and
Yes.
it just works every single time. So if you guys implement that into your business, you're just going to explode. So
I couldn't imagine a life without it.
I literally can't.
I could, because I see it. Like, I see clients coming to us and they're just getting smoked. Like, and they're in a state of chaos and they're in pain, basically. So I can imagine what would happen without it, and I'd never want to have that.
yeah, and that just kind of reminded me of thinking of when we did our plan, and what happens whilst we're executing the plan is we get excited by bright shiny
yeah.
objects, and we come in and we're like, this is an amazing strategy, and you say to me, can we add it in? I said, no. So you got to be really strict with your plan. Once
Correct.
you've set it, don't add in all these other things. You see other people working on this, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. If you've set your
Yeah.
plan, you know this is how I'm going to achieve it. Put your blinkers on and just go for it.
Just smoke it.
So I'm going to recap those. We've got number 1, you need to reflect on what happened in the last 90 days. Number 2, got to do the deep dive into every single area in your business. Number 3, got to go through those lessons and never learn those lessons again
Yes.
and turn them into opportunities. And number 4, let's really set your new goals, not just your revenue goals, but everything behind that to achieve it, your sales goals, your marketing goals, your behavior goals, your team goals. And finally, you need to make it real. Number 5, make it real in your business so you can actually make it happen.
Yeah, so there you guys have it. So now I can jump into what I was going to give away.
Now you can.
I was a little bit off track. So, by the way, guys, click like, click share. We want to make sure that we get over 50 likes on this, so please make sure that you make that a reality for us. So if you want to grow your healthcare business and get record results inside the next 90 days, like our clients do,
Yeah.
well, I'm looking for 5 businesses right now who want to grow by an extra $20,000 to $40,000 per month in monthly revenue in 90 days time from now. So there are strict criteria. You must already be earning $20,000 per month in revenue before expenses. You need to have the space and the capacity so you can actually grow by an extra $20,000 to $40,000 per month. That's really important. Like, we're going to give you strategies to do that. You actually must have the capacity to actually get that growth. And you also must be coachable and likable. And because you're watching our podcast and our episode and you like our clients, and I imagine that you would be, but if you think you know better than we do, hey, let's not have a conversation, because that shows that you're not coachable, probably not even really likable. So you'd be coachable and likable. So if that is you, you're at $20,000 per month already, you want to grow by an extra $20,000 to $40,000. We work with clients at $20,000 per month, right up to some of our bigger clients are at $2 million per month with over 150 staff and everything in between. So if you're a minimum 20,000 per month, you want to explode over the next 90, you know that you need some help, and you want to get experts guiding you in that, then send us a private message on Facebook, and the code word will be just right in there, GROW40, 40, GROW40. When I receive that, I will send you the details. It is for the first 5 only. We will not take people on past that. It's just for the first 5 only. I will send you the details. It's GROW40. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Pop any comments or questions or praise that you have for us underneath in the feed. Thank you to our IGTV viewers and our Facebook viewers, and if you're listening to this in the car, at the gym, or walking your French Bulldogs, and congratulations for listening. And I'm extremely excited to see you guys in the next week's episode.
All right, this has been a whole heap of fun.
Sure has.
We'll see you guys next week.
Damn
Bye
straight.
for now.
Bye for now.